Hi everyone, I'm Kat, and this is my 2-star crafting guide using Maker's Mark and Careful Synth. You can find this guide up in the Square Enix forums. This is where I did a lot of my theory craft with other crafters, looking for better approaches. This approach hems on using Careful Synthesis 2 and Ingenuity 2 to drive the progress very safely and quickly. Likewise, the Ingenuity 2 at the end lets you push Bargots inside of it. This is important because it adds around 1,000 to 1,500 extra quality, which allows you to miss one additional hasty touch in comparison to other rotations. The base required stats for this is the minimum 718 craftsmanship and 398 CP. This does assume that you'll use high quality baked onion soup, as you'll need the extra craftsmanship. As your craftsmanship goes up, you will be able to miss more flawless synths, and as you gain more CP, you'll be able to squeeze in one additional precise or basic touch. It's important to note that the innovate at the end is optional, and that you may find it better to substitute reclaim, which is what I do in most of my classes now. I use this extra 18 CP to insert an additional basic or precise touch. So I'll be using the max CP extra progress. The rotation as it is Maker's Mark, and when we jump into a flawless synth phase, you want to get one tote inside of here. 2 totes is not useful because you'll hit max CP. If you get 1 tote, you'll be able to fail 3 flawless synths. If you get no totes, you can fail 4. After this, we go into our first Ingenuity, Waste Not 2, and into our first progress phase. After 4 careful synths, we do an SH. We go into our first hasty phase. Again, while you're in your hasty phase, make sure to watch for any good or excellence. And if you have the extra CP or the tote, go ahead and use up a good for a precise touch. Make sure not to overextend your CP, otherwise you'll be in trouble at the end. After this, we go into our last hasty phase, making sure to repair our durability using Master's Mend 2. And afterwards, we go into our last phase, doing our last hasty touch, our Ingenuity 2, our Greater Strides, Bargots, and the last 2 progress steps. So let's go ahead and get going. I will be making a Millmaster's apron. I've already got some food buff left, but always make sure to use your food. Make sure you've got the right food and that the buff is up. I've got 3 high quality astral silks, a cheap griffin leather from the MB, and the rest of my extra parts that I can craft are high quality, so I'll be starting at 2,400. Ideally, you want to have about 2,000 quality when starting out, and if you don't, you should probably try to gather an extra high quality landborn aether sand or 2 to substitute. So let's go ahead and get started. So first we're going to do Maker's Mark. Make sure to watch for any good procs during this portion. Going to do Inner Quiet. Now we're into our flawless synths. We've got 13. I can fail or tote 4. So hopefully we'll get 1 tote. And I've missed 1. And I like to count the misses in case you do miss a bunch. If you miss too many, you'll have to substitute a careful synth in place of a hasty touch later. Okay, we have no tote, but we only missed 1 progress step, so that's okay. So now we do Comfort Zone, Ingenuity, Waste Not 2. We're going to do 4 progress steps. I've got my first good. Now I know that I've got 1 extra precise touch, but I can't take that because I'm still doing my progress steps. So I'm going to go ahead and do this Careful Synth. All right, it's going to do Steady Hand. And we're going to do our first set of hasties. All right, so at this point we do Comfort Zone, Steady Hand, do our last hasty touch, and then we're going to Master's Mend back. Now we've got 3 more hasty touches. I've gotten my first usable precise touch, and I did not get a tote proc, so I only get to do 1 of these. So now I just need to follow the rotation. So we'll do 2 more hasty touches, and we're looking pretty good at this point. And now we're going to go into the last phase. So we're going to do Steady Hand. Going to go ahead and do Hasty Touch. Greater Strides. Ingenuity 2. Bargots. And then our last 2 Careful Synths to finish our rotation. And we got a nice crisp 100% quality. So that's the rotation. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, that's it. Thanks, everyone.